And welcome everyone to the City of Daly City Regular Meeting Planning Commission. Today is Tuesday, December 3rd, 2024. City Hall Council Chambers. To watch the live telecast, go to https://www.youtube.com or Comcast Channel 27 for those watching at home. Public participation, there are three ways to submit public comment. Number one is to email your comment directly to the Planning Division, submit written comments via the city's website, or attend the meeting in person. To email your comment, simply email a comment to the planner identified in the public hearing notice or send the email to mvlanlonkhuysen@dalycity.org with including the comment, Planning Commission public comment in the subject line. To submit a comment via the city's website, please visit www.dalycity.org/agendas. To complete the public comment form, in the comment field box, include the item number and/or the title of the item as well as your comments, or speak at the meeting in person. Please complete a speaker card located at the entrance to the City Council chambers and submit it to a staff member as early in the meeting as possible. Now, start the meeting. We pledge to the flag.
Paniza,
Here.
Faapua,
Present.
Satori. Present. Nuris is absent, and Katwar.
Here. So can we have approval of last meeting's minutes?
Motion?
I second.
I move to dispense the reading of the minutes previously.
Noted. Thank you. So now we go to public hearing for item number 2, which is the Coastal Development Permit, CDP-10-24-016669. The applicant, Eric Zhang, proposes to demolish an existing 246 square foot sunroom and construct a 216 square foot bedroom addition in approximately the same location at 60 Roslyn Court. The project is in the Resource Protection Overlay Zone and therefore requires a coastal development permit. The project has determined to be categorically exempt under CEQA Section 1532 infill.
Yes, thank you, Honorable Chair, members of the Planning Commission. This is a request by the owner of 60 Roslyn Court to construct a small room addition. Actually, a better description would be to replace an existing addition on the rear of an existing single-family home at 60 Roslyn Court. The project location is inside the Resource Protection Overlay District, which is essentially the first row of houses facing the ocean in Daly City, and therefore requires a coastal development permit. So normally a room addition like this would just be allowed with a building permit, but because of the location of this addition or replacement, it requires coastal development permit. So Planning Commission, City Council, and then there is a potential for an appeal to Coastal Commission. That's sort of the difference, as well as we also notify residents within 100 feet in addition to property owners within 300 feet. So this is a picture of the front of the existing home. There's no changes proposed to the front of the home. This is a photograph of the rear of the existing home. So it's essentially this area that would be, I can do a pointer here. Oops, that's not good. The single-story structure is what's being replaced. And these are the existing and proposed site plans. Again, at the rear of the home is an existing addition that you just saw the photograph of, and there's essentially a replacement addition. I believe it's going to be a bedroom that's enclosed in this space. There's also a second floor deck that would be constructed. That doesn't exist currently. And these are the floor plans. Again, it's at the rear. It's at the top of the screen is where the addition would be. These are the existing and proposed right elevations. These would be the elevations that face the ocean, more or less. Again, as you can see on the bottom part of the screen, it's a single-story addition, but with a roof deck, whereas on the top right elevation is the existing, and it's just a sloped roof. This is the left elevation, so looking from the east. Again, the sloped roof at the top left, and then the roof, the addition with the roof deck on the bottom left elevation. The staff has reviewed this and has found the proposal consistent with the city's coastal development program. There's no improvements proposed within 50 feet of the bluff edge. The applicant submitted a drawing that shows this. The applicants also submitted a geotechnical engineer report that was attached to the Planning Commission staff report. And that report found that the structure could be constructed without any geotechnical hazards. So that there are certain findings that have to be made, and the three findings are on the screen: consistency with the resource protection combining district, no adverse effect on the site or any of the adjacent areas. There's no endangerment of life or property, and there's no requirement for protective structures. The project is exempt from CEQA, and the city staff is recommending that the Planning Commission forward a recommendation to the City Council of coastal development permit approval. If there's any questions, we can answer those for you.
Is there any public comments? Item?
Not
None?
unless we've received a speaker card.
So,
We have comments.
okay, go ahead.
Well, how far is this in the coastline? How far? This project?
The project site situated on a coastal bluff above, well, it's approximately 300 feet
How many meters?
from the coastal bluff edge. It would probably be about 30 meters from the coastal bluff edge, 30 meters. So quite a distance.
Close, huh?
Well, yeah, but if you can see the,
Is the developer here?
I believe so, yes.
Developer is here?
The applicant, yes, they should be here.
Because they know very well this soil is very loose.
Mm.
And there was a study that the soil there's an erosion every year, at least like this.
Oh, a little, right?
You know that.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
how sure are we when it comes to soil testing?
Mm.
This was conducted.
Well, this zoning ordinance requires that a geotechnical investigation be submitted with the application, and that was attached to the staff report of the Planning Commission. So geotechnical engineer has already taken a look at this and found that there's,
That study,
yes, it's attached to the staff report.
we have that report.
Yes.
Because I don't see it here.
Oh, it should be.
Here?
Yes.
Oh, yeah,
Okay.
brown city clay,
Is it page 2?
brown city clay, medium density.
I believe the applicant is present, Mr. Zhang.
If you're investing on something that is not, I would say, we'll be spending a lot of cement here for falling cement.
Yeah.
Just to give you a heads up here.
Yeah.
So that's why you will notice that, especially used to be the Koreatown,
Mm.
this was really bad. You know that.
Oh, sure, right.
Because the soil is really
And-
very, very thin.
Right.
Very, you're right, it's like a clay. So, is she here? Because I'm talking here about the general interest in public welfare.
Mhm.
We want you to build, probably it can last like 20 years, that's good enough. But what we want is really
Oh,
a
yeah.
formidable project that can withstand any onslaught of like cyclone, bomb cyclone or what.
Mhm.
We don't know.
Sure.
God forbid it.
Typically, the geotechnical engineer looks at a 50-year lifespan for a structure like this. When they evaluate whether there's going to be any impacts, it's usually with that sort of a time frame.
Because I'm just worried about the erosion of the soil.
Sure.
It's been going on there for several years. In fact, there's a problem there. So we're just going to allow it like 10 years. It's up to you guys.
Yeah.
But to me, I'm just giving you the heads up. This place is really very, very dangerous place to build something. That's all.
Any other comments from? No. Do we have anyone speaking who would like to make a comment?
Public comment.
Public comment? Sorry. So at this time, I'd like to open public hearing. Is there anyone who would like to speak? If none, oh. So if none, I'd like to close.
I move to close the public hearing if there is nobody else who wants to talk.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Public hearing is now closed. Recommended action is to forward to the City Council the following recommendations to adopt the findings as outlined herein, affirm the environmental assessment, and approve CEQA CDP-10-24-16669, subject to the findings and conditions outlined herein. Do I have a motion?
Aye, motion.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Oh, no.
Panisa,
Yes, aye.
Fa'apua,
Aye.
Satori,
Abstain.
Katwar.
Yes. Thank you. Motion is passed. Now we go to item number 3. Parcel map PM-05-23-016239, use permit -05-23-016240, and design review DR-05-23-016241. The applicant, John Britton, proposes lot split of a single parcel into 2 parcels for the construction of 2 residential 3-story buildings comprised of 2 2-unit condominiums with 1 accessory dwelling unit each, for a total of 6 units, on a 8,750 square foot vacant property located on the east side of Edgeworth Avenue between Bryant and Annie Streets. The project has been determined to be categorically exempt under CEQA Section 15332, infill development. So the address is 1645 Edgewood Avenue with APN number 006-346-070 and 110.
Good evening, Honorable Chair, members of the Planning Commission.
Parliamentary
Yep.
Go ahead.
Have we not approved this before?
Yes, you have, through the chair. Yes, this item has been before the Planning Commission, and I believe the presentation will explain why it is before you again.
Yes, we do have I do have a slide that talks a little bit about the background of the project. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So, my name is Sam Fielding. I'm the associate planner. Sure, you recognize it. Yeah, I was saying, my name is Sam Fielding, and I'm the associate planner. I'll be presenting this item. As was mentioned, the item before you is for the planning entitlements of a minor subdivision parcel map, a use permit and design review for two-unit condominiums with accessory dwelling units located at 1645 Edgeworth Avenue. The existing site is a vacant lot located on the east side of Edgeworth Avenue between Washington and Pierce Streets, indicated by the green star on this map. The project site is located in the Sullivan Corridor Specific Plan and is zoned commercial retail residential. The surrounding uses include light commercial uses to the south and east of the site and multifamily residential to the west. Republic Service is located to the south, along with a mix of auto repair, car wash, and a phone utility business to the south and east of the project site. North of the site there includes multifamily and single-family buildings. Sullivan Avenue and Interstate 280 are located one block to the east of the project site. A little bit about the project background. This application is similar to applications that the Planning Commission and City Council approved back in 2005 and 2008, although only apartment duplexes were proposed in those applications. At the applicant's request, the City Council amended the zoning ordinance to allow condominium buildings consisting of 2 or more units in August 2015. The applicant has therefore reapplied to have the units constructed as condominiums instead of duplexes. Instead of the apartments. And on January 14th, 2015, the Sullivan Corridor Council Committee conceptually approved the applicant's proposal. Subsequently, the applicant changed the architect and has submitted this new project that is before you this evening. So the proposed project is a lot split of the vacant lot from 1 to 2 lots and construction of 2 buildings comprised of 2 two-unit condominiums with 1 accessory dwelling unit each, 3 units for each lot. The building will be a 3-story building approximately 31 feet 5 inches in height. The design is a contemporary design compatible with neighborhood and complies with the city design objective standards and quality materials. The project qualifies for State Law AB 2097 for 0 parking due to its location within a half mile of high-quality transit. However, the applicant is proposing 8 on-site parking spaces, 2 two-car garages, and 2 two-car parking spaces in the driveways. In addition, the project includes streetscape and landscaping improvements, new permeable paver driveways, city standard sidewalks and curb cuts, and front yard landscaping with drought-tolerant native plant species. This is some information on the lot and building floor area for each building, for each condominium and each building. So you have for the first lot, 4,250 square feet. The first floor, 678 square feet. the second floor of 1,535, the third floor of 1,425. And there you have the totals. Both lots are similar in area and in square footage for each floor. The proposed project requires the following planning and towns for approval: the proposed parcel map, use permit, and design review for the project. The Planning Commission may recommend approval, conditional approval, or denial of the planning entitlements to the City Council. The Planning Commission's recommended action will be scheduled for a City Council meeting for review and approval or denial. This is the San Mateo County Assessor map with the lot outlined in green, showing the lot of the project site. This is the existing site plan and the proposed lot split. So you can see that the first lot split is outlined in green, and then the other lot is outlined in blue. This is the tentative map parcel and lot merge. These are the existing site photos. 1645 Edgeworth, the vacant lot facing north and northeast towards adjacent abandoned greenhouses and the multifamily housing. And this is the vacant lot facing northeast and east. This is the proposed site plan. And Edgeworth is located to the right of the slide. This slide shows the pervious and impervious areas. The red is basically the building, and then the sidewalk, and then the front yard area will have permeable pavers indicated by the crosshatch. And then the backyard will have landscaping. This is the proposed first floor. Each building will consist of a 2-car parking garage for the duplexes above and 1-bedroom ADUs with a living room, kitchen, and 1 bathroom. So the ADUs are located toward the back of the building. This is the proposed second floor, which will include 3 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms, a kitchen, living room, and office. The third floor will include 3 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms, a living room, kitchen, and 2 small decks, 1 for each front bedroom. This is the roof plan. The proposed west elevation, the east elevations for both buildings, and the north elevation. This is the south elevation. This is a rendering with the color and materials proposed for the project. The 3-story duplexes will have a combination of vertical wood paneling for the third floor, gray painted horizontal siding on the second floor, and horizontal wood siding for the garage door with gray painted exterior stucco finish. The second floor railings will be painted black, and the windows will be gunmetal exterior color. The ground floor will be inset from the second floor with 2 feet recessed garage doors, and the third floor will be set back 10 feet from the second floor wall as required by Municipal Code Objective Design Standards. Again, the metal railing will be painted black. We have the gunmetal exterior color windows, vertical composite wood siding for the garage doors and second floor exterior, and then gray cement board siding with trim. So staff has reviewed the design, materials, and color and landscaping and determined that the project meets the required findings of Section 17.45.080 Design Review of the Municipal Code and supports the building design. This is the landscape plan for the project. Each duplex condominium building will have access to a backyard with permeable paved pathways through landscaped areas. There will be trees, including the California buckeye, Marina strawberry tree, and then shrubs, including the California lilac, Cape rush, majestic purple lily grass, Carmel soar, manzanita, and wild daga. Planning staff completed the CEQA environmental review for the proposed project and determined that the project is categorically exempt per CEQA guidelines, section 15332, for an infill development project on vacant land or on a vacant lot. Staff recommends the Planning Commission take the following action. Recommend the City Council approve the parcel map, use permit, and design review for a lot split and construction of 2 buildings comprised of 2 two-unit condominiums with 1 ground floor accessory dwelling unit. This concludes staff's presentation. Staff is available to answer any questions, and the project applicant, architect Jeff Eads, is here along with the property owners, and they're also available to answer questions.
Thank you, Mr. Sam Fielding, for your presentation. Does anyone have any questions or comments? Go ahead.
Here you go. We only seen the front and the rear renderings. Is there any sides or just get any windows face into the garbage, like a lot, parking lot? Or did I miss it? Or just side?
We just have the rendering of the
Okay.
front. Typically, we don't require a
Okay.
rendering for the projects, but the materials that are shown in the front rendering are the same materials that will be on the side. So like the siding and the gray color, that's going to be the same as you would see it in the front.
Thank you. And has there been any studies of like the noise in the morning for the garbage trucks? Because I know they start really early in the morning. Any findings about that?
No, that
Okay,
wasn't,
no. Okay,
that
no
was
problem.
something that was looked at.
Yeah. Thank you, Sam.
Sure.
Is it wheelchair accessible?
Yes.
And that will be, I'm assuming that will be only for the first floor.
Yes, for the ground floor, the project was reviewed by all the departments, including building and fire, and it is accessible for the ground floor.
Thank you. I mean, it looks like a really nice building. I know Mr. Satori have seen this so many times, but I'm new on the board, so it's good to have a refresh. And not only that, it looks like a beautiful place for some of the residents here in Daly City or whoever's interested. I'm hearing that 8-car parking lot that you're asking for. That's the struggle that we have here in Daly City is parking.
Yes.
But there will be parking lot, 2-car garages.
Yes.
Yeah.
And there's also space for 2-car parking in the driveways. The ADU on the first floor does not require parking, so
Okay.
that's not part of the project. And the project itself actually qualifies for not providing any parking, so but the applicant did want to provide that benefit for the condominium owners.
Got it. Thank you.
Go ahead, Ray.
You mentioned about, every development here in the city is basically infrastructure. The general interest of public welfare is always paramount to the public interest. And one of the main concerns of the residents here in the city is parking and traffic. Now, you made mention about the state law AB 2097.
Yes.
Do you know about this? Can you enlighten me about this?
Yes, so it's a new state law where if a project is located, a residential housing project is located within a half mile of a major transit station, it's not required to provide parking. And so This particular site is located close to the Como BART station. It's within that half mile. So technically, they're not required to provide the parking. However, the applicant is providing parking for the duplexes of each building. So
Is this related to the so-called density bonus law? You're on that.
it's not, no, it's not directly related to that, although that's another, the state right now has a variety there's a state density bonus law, there's AB 2097, there's several different state bills that have been passed to encourage and streamline to create housing due to the housing crisis in the state. And so this one, it relates to, looking at removing the requirement for parking in order to allow it, developers to have an easier time of building housing.
Because density bonus law is when you put up a similar infrastructure, normally you are not required to have the parking space. That's the density bonus law.
Yes.
Your information.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that there's a state density bonus law, but also what's related to that is how many units are affordable. So there's a certain number of affordable units that have to be built to qualify for a state density bonus. And then you can, if you're able to meet those requirements, then you can build a higher, taller building and greater density. But there is a tie-in toward what level of affordable units, how many affordable units, low income, middle income, are going to be built as part of the project in order for the developer to qualify. But this project is not a density bonus law project. Yeah. Sure, you're welcome.
Thank you. So are photographs required for the report? I noticed on this one, there's no photos. Just for the benefit of, because I know it's this project has been kind of over the years. So I'm just curious. Oh, there it is.
So we include the photographs in the presentation, or the site photos. That's typically the way we do it, and not in the staff
I
report.
think
But
it's very good that we're getting 6 brand new units in Daly City. We need more housing, definitely. So, thank you. Any other comments, questions? No? At this time, I'd like to open for public hearing. Is there anyone who would like to make a comment on this item? If none, I'd like a motion to close public hearing. Can I get a motion, please?
Motion?
I second.
Thank you. So public hearing is now closed. Recommended that we forward to the city council the following recommendations: to adopt the findings as outlined, affirm the environmental assessments, and approve parcel map PM-05-23-016239, use permit UPR-05-23, 016240, and design review DR-05-23-01624. Can I get a motion, please?
I motion.
Get a second?
Second.
We have a roll call vote. Can we have a roll call vote, please?
Panizza,
Aye.
Fa'apua,
Yes.
Satori,
Yes.
Couture,
Yes.
When is this going to the council?
pardon me?
When is this going to the council for approval?
It would go to the first or the second or fourth Monday for the city council. So it would go to the next upcoming Monday.
Just for
First it-
information of the
Yes,
Should
or
go
it depends.
It should go January 13
Oh, January
because the
13, okay.
second meeting in December is canceled due to the holidays.
And hopefully they build it this time.
Yes,
Thank you. Thank you.
you're welcome. I think I'll just stay up here. I have the next item, so.
yes.
You wanna put it on?
So for
Can you open it? Okay. Oh, sorry.
next item on the agenda is item number 4, the general plan amendment, GPA-11-22-01-5959, zone change ZC-11-22-015-960 for the use permit UPR-11-22-01-5962 and design review DR-11-22-015-961. General plan amendment, zone change, use permit, and design review to allow the construction of a battery energy storage system and transmission line connection.
Okay, good evening again. The item before you is for the planning entitlements of a general plan amendment, zone change, use permit, design review, and certification of the CEQA mitigated negative declaration document for the proposed battery energy storage system located at 2150 Geneva Avenue. The applicant, Cormorant Energy Storage LLC, proposes to develop an approximately 11-acre lot for a 250 megawatt battery energy storage system with a 115 kilovolt transmission line connection to the PG&E Martin substation. The facility would be operated by Aravon Energy. Aravon Energy is a renewable energy developer, owner, and operator based in Scottsdale, Arizona. And they will be operating this project site or proposing to operate the project site. The project site is currently owned by the Cow Palace and is a vacant, undeveloped lot, primarily used for vehicle and building material storage, and is surrounded by a mix of land uses. A little bit about the Aravon company, and this gives you a little bit of information about their experience operating battery storage sites. These are the locations where they are actively operating battery storage sites in California, and then one located in Clark, Nevada. They've operated over 2,650 megawatt of battery energy storage systems since 2021 with 0 safety incidents. And they have an additional 2,800 megawatts of BESS planned for 2024-2025. A little bit about the project background. In November of 2023, the applicant, Cormorant Energy, applied to develop an approximately 11-acre site for battery energy storage system. In November of 2024, the review of the planning entitlement submittal was deemed complete. A CEQA mitigated negative declaration notice of intent was publicly noticed with the County of San Mateo on October 31st, 2024, and posted with the California State Clearinghouse on November 1st for 30 days. And the project was scheduled for the Planning Commission hearing this evening. These are the proposed, the required planning entitlements, the general plan amendment to amend the general plan designation from commercial retail office to industrial, a zoning change, rezoning the parcel from light commercial, C1, to heavy commercial, C2, a use permit to allow a battery energy storage system and transmission line connection to the PG&E Martin substation, Martin station, the design review for the battery energy storage system, and then the environmental certification of the mitigative negative declaration and the mitigation monitoring and reporting program. The project site is located east of Carter Street and Saddleback Drive in Daly City, indicated by the gold star. As was mentioned before, the project site is currently vacant and used for vehicle and building material storage. The project site is bordered by the Bay Club, South San Francisco building, and Cow Palace parking lot to the north, the Cow Palace to the east, open space to the south, and Carter Street and residential condos, light industrial, and a hotel to the west. There are large trees and shrubs surrounding the project site on all sides. The battery energy storage system site and substation site at 2150 Geneva Ave, as was mentioned earlier, is commercial retail office and zoned light commercial. This is indicated by the pink color for the retail office, and then the zoning light commercial. The applicant proposes to amend the general plan use designation from commercial retail office to industrial land use, and the zoning from light commercial C1 to heavy commercial C2. These are some staff site photos looking at the project site from above on the ridge in Brisbane. Project site, and then the PG&E Martin substation located to the east. This is the existing site plan with Carter Street located to the left on the slide. These slides show the project site views facing east from the access street on Carter Street, and facing east along the northern boundary, and facing south along the eastern side of the site parcel. Photo 1 shows the existing entry driveway into the project site. This entry is a two-way driveway configuration, and this would remain the same and be improved with median landscaping. The project applicant will work with the Cow Palace to make improvements to the driveway. These are some other slides showing the site views facing west, facing north end of the site, facing northeast toward the center of the site, and facing northwest toward Geneva Avenue. This is the project site plan. The purple color indicates the future expansion of the battery storage containers and the main power transformer. The main power transformer is located up here to the sort of the left corner of the site. And then these are the battery storage containers. And then the proposed purple is a future expansion. The battery enclosures containers typically range from 10 to 20 feet long and 6 to 8 feet deep and 6 to 10 feet in height. This is the north elevation showing the 8-foot, 6-inch tall precast concrete wall with a 1-foot, 6-inch climbing deterrent. There also will be surveillance cameras. The battery enclosures will be 9 feet, 10 inches tall with a 6-inch foundation. This is the south elevation, and then a view showing the transformers. The west elevation. And the east elevation showing the transformer and battery storage containers. As part of this project, the BESS and substation would connect to the PG&E Martin substation via a 115 kilowatt transmission line. The transmission line to Martin substation, indicated by the blue line, will be fully underground beneath Carter, Martin, and Sherwin streets. The project includes landscaping and streetscape improvements to the access driveway from Carter. The access road contains an easement owned by the Cow Palace, and the applicant has secured an agreement with Cow Palace to make landscape and streetscape improvements to the access road. The existing lane configuration of the driveway in both east and west direction will remain the same. Streetscape improvements will also be required for the access road at the intersection with Carter Street as a condition of approval. And the applicant shall work with the city to make these intersection streetscape improvements. This is a rendering. It shows one lane, but as was mentioned before, the configuration is going to be 2 lanes. So there'll be 1 lane in each direction. But this is just to give you an idea of some of the median landscape improvements. This is a rendering of the site with a southwest view. This is the north view. Northeast view. This slide shows the plans and studies that were required for the project. The project also has the required conditions of approval from all city departments. This is included in the staff report. During the project entitlement process, the applicant has committed to support the community and has demonstrated this by participating in local community events, including the Thanksgiving Turkey Giving hosted by the Filipino Bayanihan Resource Center, the Chow Fun event, Shine Family Day Festival, Pistahan Parade and Festival, and STEM Senior Scholarship Award ceremonies at the local high schools. The applicant has also worked and is pledged to work closely with elected officials, community leaders, and local stakeholders to identify and prioritize initiatives to best serve the needs and interests of Daly City residents. The applicant is also committed to prioritize the hiring of union contractors and subcontractors during the construction phase of the energy storage project. At the request of the city, the applicant contracted an independent consultant, development planning and financing group to prepare a fiscal revenue analysis to estimate the major annual fiscal tax revenues that the project may generate under multiple scenarios when at full build-out and under stabilized operating conditions for the city. This slide shows what the estimated fiscal tax revenues would be in a comparison of different uses. Other uses analyzed and found to not be feasible, in addition to generating less revenue, were single-family residential and public storage at the site. The applicant estimates that after phase 1 of the project, the development would generate $3 million in sales tax revenue, and when fully built, $4 million in sales tax revenue for Daly City. The project is also estimated to provide more than $27 million in property tax payments over its lifespan, which will support city, state, and county government activities, as well as the local school district. City staff also required a development agreement with the developer. This development agreement includes a project description, the defined term of the project. It's 30 years is what is estimated for the life of the project. The benefits to the city and public, and the regulatory considerations for Cormorant, including vested rights, use permit, and the project-specific encroachment maintenance and removal agreement, and right-of-way encroachment authorization for the transmission line to facilitate the title insurance coverage and financing for the project. Further details can be found in attachment F of your project packet. The City of Daly City completed a CEQA environmental review for the proposed project as required and determined that the project would have a less than significant impact on the environment with implementation of avoidance and mitigation measures. As part of the project, there was a public comment period from November 1st, 2024 to December 2nd for 30 days. And then the project will have final consideration of the CEQA MND by City Council, tentatively scheduled for January 27th, 2025, and publishing of a notice of intent to adopt the CEQA San Mateo County Clerk's Office. Staff did receive one public comment from California Department of Fish and Wildlife, and the CEQA subconsultant has prepared a response to that comment that basically determined that their comment would be a less than significant impact for the site. So as part of the initial study of the project, the CEQA consultant evaluated all the resources at the project site and determined that air quality, biological resources, cultural resources, geology and soils, hazardous materials, noise and vibration might have a possibility of impacts at the project site. But with mitigation and a monitoring program, those impacts would be reduced to less than significant. So staff recommends that the Planning Commission find that the proposed general plan amendment, zone change, use permit, and design review are in accordance with Chapter 17 zoning of the Daly City Municipal Code. Staff has determined that the approval of the proposed project will not be detrimental to the health, safety, morals, comfort, and general welfare of persons residing or working in the vicinity. And staff has furthermore determined that the project would not be injurious or detrimental to property and improvements in the neighborhood or result in substantial environmental damage or disturbance, given the mitigation measures outlined in the mitigation monitoring and reporting program. Staff recommends that the Planning Commission adopt the following findings as outlined in the staff report. Based on the presentation of this project tonight, the Planning Commission may recommend to deny, amend, or approve the project to the City Council. Staff is recommending the Planning Commission take the following action. Recommend the City Council approve the general plan amendment, zone change, use permit, design review, development agreement, and certification of the CEQA MND for the battery energy storage system with transmission line at 2150 Geneva Avenue. This concludes staff's presentation. Staff is available to answer any questions for the project, and we also have the applicant development team available to answer any questions, and our CEQA environmental consultant is also here to answer any CEQA-related questions. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Sam Fielding, for that presentation. Does anyone have any questions? Any questions? Who wants to go first?
I'm not really familiar with lithium batteries. Are they flammable or explosive, or like worst case scenario? Because it's in a highly dense neighborhood, you know, and then what happens? God forbid something happens to our community.
So that was during the entitlement review process for the project. We did have the review of the fire department review project, and there's also a fire study that was required for the project. And the type of batteries that are being used in the system that they use, it's contained within the battery storage structure. And the fire department was satisfied that it met the requirements for preventing any
Okay,
fires.
thank you. I'll review it again. Thank you. Thank you.
Sure.
Yeah.
Also, I think we have the development team that also has a brief, short presentation, so they can also address that question.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
Mr. Field, you say that someone was going to provide a presentation?
Yes, we do have the developer here, and they do have a brief 10-minute presentation.
Yeah.
Would you like them to present?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, please. Thank you.
I have a lot of questions also with regards to
Sure.
sodium ion.
They have a
battery
brief presentation that we can put up some slides.
and lithium battery.
Sure.
Let's deal with that
Okay.
later on. Okay.
Let me put
Right,
up the other
thank you.
I'm really familiar with this project. This is like my fourth time. The team is awesome. I met with them, and the fact that it's in the Bayshore area, it's really benefit the community, and it's also already benefit one of the huge organization in the city, is in Daly City. But I did ask the same question.
So
asked
we
the
have
same-
Kevin Smith from the developer team that's going to speak
but
about the project.
it's good to
So, sorry to
learn
interrupt
from
you.
them, their presentation.
Sure. Those three of us that will present a short presentation. My name's Kevin Smith. I'm Chief Executive Officer for Revon Energy. And I'll give you a quick overview on the just this arrow here on the left, on the right, correct? Thank you. A little bit about a Revon. We're a leading renewable energy company. Our specialty is solar energy projects and battery storage projects. In the previous presentation that Sam did when they talked about BESS, that BESS is battery energy storage systems. So that's one of our specialties. We're located, our headquarters is in Scottsdale, Arizona. I actually live in the Bay Area. My wife and I live in the Bay Area. But our headquarters is in Scottsdale, Arizona, but we have people located across the U.S. We're a developer, owner, and operator, and that's a key part is we develop projects, and then we invest and maintain long-term ownership and operation of the facility. So when a Revon comes into the neighborhood, we're here for 20, 30, 40 years is the intent. We've got investors that are looking at these as long-term investments in renewable energy storage activities. We manage right now more than 160 solar, wind, and energy storage projects across the U.S. That power around 1.2 million American homes. Those projects are in the order of $10 billion of investments across the U.S. We're a U.S.-based company. Actually, our only projects are in the U.S., and our staff is 100% based in the U.S. These are some of our operational projects. You can see we have a fair amount of activity in California, both energy storage and battery energy storage like this project here, as well as large-scale solar projects. And then we've got a number of projects in construction in California. We have projects in construction in the Midwest and in other parts of the U.S. These are our battery storage projects that we have in California. Some of them are in operations, and some of them are in construction. We have two projects in construction right now in San Diego area, one in downtown San Diego and one in Poway. And then we just started a commercial operation on the Grand Terrace project a number of months ago here in California. But we've got a number of projects in operation, construction, and development throughout California. The key for battery energy storage projects, and they are now becoming more and more prevalent in a lot of markets around the U.S., largely helps with minimizing brownouts and blackouts and helps with grid stability. It also essentially it works how you would expect a battery project to work, which is we charge it during low price periods, and then we discharge that energy onto the grid during high price periods. And essentially it helps to keep electricity prices down because we're providing more key electricity during peak periods. Our team will talk a little bit about the benefits, additional benefits, which obviously Sam talked about the strong addition to the tax base as well, in addition to the construction jobs created during the construction period. And I'll pass it over to I'll say our Sam, who'll go through a little bit more detail. Thanks, Sam.
Wonderful. Thank you to Sam for the wonderful presentation, for Kevin for the introduction, and thank you to the Planning Commission for hearing our project tonight. Kevin did a great job kind of overviewing exactly what energy storage is, but I'd like to also talk about how energy storage maximizes the use of clean energy. So we charge the batteries typically during the day, which is a low demand period, but also a period where solar energy is much more abundant on the California electric grid. And therefore, this energy can be stored and discharged later in the day when everyone comes home from work, comes home from school, turns their lights on, and begins to cook dinner, so on and so forth. So not only does it maximize the use of clean energy, but it also contributes to grid resilience, as Kevin mentioned. So Sam did a wonderful job, as I mentioned, kind of overviewing Cormorant, so I won't harp too much on this project overview here, but the project size of 250 megawatts is important to note here, and it discharges for 4 hours, and what that relates to is roughly up to 200,000 homes for 4 hours. So to put it in perspective, that's a lot of people that can be served by this project, and those that are going to benefit from this project, are largely located in the area surrounding the Martin substation, and therefore the Bay Area. Talking a little bit about the anticipated construction schedule here, we're expected to begin construction in May or June of this year, and will likely be operational by June of 2026. And once again, another visual on the location here. I won't go too into depth here, but I would like to talk a little more about the transmission line that Sam mentioned as well. We're going to run south along Carter Street, east along Martin Street, and then north right up until the intersection of Sherwin and Otilia into the Martin service yard. We'll be fully underground, no above ground overhead poles or things like that associated with our project in the public right-of-way, and we're working with the city with an EMRA, or an encroachment maintenance and removal agreement. I want to give a quick overview of technology and safety on the project, but we do have our Director of Development, John Meineke, who will be available to answer some more specific questions if there are any, which I assume there might be. I want to talk a little bit about this graphic that Sam did share, showcasing we've got 6 operational battery energy storage projects throughout California and Nevada, and have roughly 2,600 megawatt hours of battery energy storage systems operational since 2021. With more than that coming online in just 2024 and 2025. And then a quick high-level overview on the safety measures on site. So we have multiple redundant safeguards that have been incorporated into the facility design. The batteries themselves are outdoor and containerized. There is an infrared thermal detection system on the site, which essentially is cameras that can detect anomalies relating to heat on site. And that ties in with the air quality sensors, as well as our general plan for interacting with North County Fire Authority. We've put in a 8-foot concrete firewall, as well as an on-site fire water loop and hydrants, and we'll coordinate with NCFA for emergency response plans, for training specific to a battery energy storage system, as well as for all the building permit submittals moving forward with the project. I now want to hand it to our Director of Community Relations, Brenda Solario, for a presentation.
Oh, he's much taller than I am. Thank you. And thank you to the Planning Commission. I'm going to be covering the project benefits, and you may have already gotten a sneak peek, but we want to make sure that the Planning Commissioning Board understands how committed Arivon is to being a good neighbor in the community. First and foremost, we look to create partnerships with organizations that are already doing the important work of uplifting their community. And we come in hoping to partner with those organizations, with those key folks, in really learning how to best benefit the community. But before we step into any community, Arivon is coming to the table with a set of values that we have created for our giving. We want to be intentional about our giving, and so we have set these 3 pillars of giving that really set the stage and frame our giving in general. First is poverty alleviation, and of course you can imagine that covers a very wide scope of community needs. More recently for us, that has meant food distribution, holiday food giving, and we have partnered with organizations, whether that is in sponsoring, for example, working with PBRC on their Thanksgiving giveaway, which is a lot of fun for us, but also making sure that we're backing this up with some volunteer hours as well. well. We think it's important to not only give, but to really match that effort with some time in the community, and we have made that effort in the last year. Second is our STEM education. We understand, obviously, as a renewable company, a renewable energy company, that we're very excited about STEM. But education, we understand, is school systems are at the heart of any community. So we have made an effort to partner with two different school districts, the Bayshore School District and Jefferson Union High School District. One, we have supported existing STEM programs in Bayshore and making sure that they continue to really have some access to amazing STEM programs. At the Jefferson Union High School District, we have established STEM scholarships, and we hope and continue to launch these yearly STEM scholarships to give students access to college access and college financial aid. And last but not least, public safety. You heard Sam speak about public safety and safety measures, and this is a priority for Revon. That priority also carries over into our giving. And so for the life of the project, the community relations piece in our giving is ready to support those public safety initiatives, and it's something that we're keeping top of mind. For 2025, while we have done the work in the last year to really create some important partnerships, we're very excited for 2025 to launch a community grant program so that we can expand the reach of our giving in the community and hopefully create even more partnerships and make sure that we're reaching more of the community. So that will be coming for 2025. And to give you a final overview of our project benefits, and some of these were mentioned before, Sam and both Kevin talked about the battery storage benefits and what that means for the community, in that it is strengthening our grid or our energy system as a whole. But other benefits that I want to point to are the Revon's commitment to a $500,000 contribution to Daly City's open space and park projects. In addition, as you heard earlier, the tax benefits to the city and the residents, approximately $27 million in projected property tax revenue for the first 20 years of the project, and additionally, at least $4 million in project sales and use tax revenue, which we are incredibly excited to be able to work with the city and the residents of Daly City, and we're incredibly excited to have been welcomed the way that we have been in working with communities, with organization and residents in the last year, and so we're excited to be able to present today. And I just want to thank the Planning Commissioning Board for your time.
All right. I have a few questions. First, how do you choose your location? How do you determine where to put up?
I'll start off the answer, and then if of our team want to supplement, that'd be fine as well. It's largely all about finding areas in the electricity grid that could use additional support, I'll say. So, you know, the issue, the grid system and the transmission system in the U.S. is quite full and complicated. So it really starts with looking at the transmission system, working with the utilities, and finding areas where putting a facility like this will help strengthen the grid and increase reliability for electricity supply to the community. So it's really all about, initially about transmission, and then it's about, you know, available land and permitting activities.
Right.
So that's the main issue.
Thank you. So, and then a follow-up question. You said that, thank you for that presentation that basically answered, I had two questions related to that. But you mentioned that, this power source can power up to 250 homes for 4 hours. Now, Daly City's not-
200,000.
sorry?
200,000 homes.
250,000
Yeah,
homes
homes, yeah.
for 4 hours?
200,000.
Yeah, 200.
200?
Yeah.
Okay. So, I mean, there's less homes in Daly City, so does that mean you can supply it for more than 4 hours? That would-
Go ahead.
Sure. So the project will to serve this energy directly to the Martin substation, and from there it will be distributed throughout the areas that the Martin substation serves. So while Daly City, the Bayshore community, and the wider Daly City community are directly affected by it due to proximity, the wider Bay Area will also receive this energy. So it's 4 hours is the duration of the discharge and charge either way, but the energy will be dispersed throughout the wider Bay Area.
Okay.
And I did want to also add to your earlier question as well. I think that an important fact about this project is the existing land use on Cormorant is another important reason why I think Cormorant is wonderful for the local community, as currently is a vacant lot largely, and in the past it's been a drive-in movie theater, so on and so forth. But as you saw through the fiscal revenue analysis, this is a wonderful project for the city to take a vacant lot into something that generates tax and does a wonderful benefit to the community.
Thank you.
And I'll add, it's quiet, it's clean. There's not a lot of traffic associated with it because it's relatively automatic operation. So there's not a lot of won't increase traffic in the area. If you put a small manufacturing facility there, obviously you'd have other issues. So it's a pretty nice neighbor because it's clean and quiet and minimal traffic.
I think it's the perfect area for it. It was calling for that area because it was vacant for quite some time. So it's bringing light to over there. So I did ask that question too. Why that area? Why Bayshore? So thank you.
Madam Chairman, can I ask a quick question? Mr. Smith, or would you like to yield some few questions?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
First, I have to start on the technical aspect. I was just reading this review of the Harvard Business Review about sodium-ion battery and the so-called lithium battery. Now, are you into that also? The sodium battery, which is more cheaper and more prevalent now in China. It's more cheaper. That's why I'm asking this question.
Do you want to comment on the technology? The battery, I'll do a general comment.
Because you're going to use only lithium, according to the agreement here.
Yeah,
But
John.
we have to develop. Technology is entirely developing every now and then. That's why I'm
Exactly.
asking this question, because this is for the general interest, public welfare, and for the general welfare of everybody. Because, of course, as a consumer, I always want a cheaper one, some sort of negotiable to especially not only here in Daly City, but in the entire Bay Area. Because eventually, if this is successful, you will be going also to other areas in the Bay Area. And I would say that I'm full accord with this project. But the point is, we will have to be appraised of what is going to be the benefit of that the people of Daly City. Because the question is, it's not only Daly City that I can see here as a businessman. You have the Brisbane, part of San Francisco. The moment they connect to you, because this is a battery that you have to go through the PG&E for connection and to bill also the PG&E. So if I'm going to go to your business, I would suggest if there is a plan for you to go into sodium-ion battery.
Yeah, just a comment here, the batteries that we're using here and that we're utilizing in most of our facilities are really the kind of current state of the art. These would be Tesla supplied batteries, and they're, like I said, they're kind of the current state of the art. For us, it's not just about the cost, it's about the overall facility, the efficiency of the batteries, and making sure that we're providing a
I
cost.
understand that,
Yeah.
but both of them will be efficient in case you use it. the sodium-ion battery. That's why
Yeah,
I'm
I'll let John comment on the.
It's a technical question, but I would like to be appraised also. We want to be
Yeah.
guided here as a citizen of Daly City.
Yeah, hi, John Meineke, Director of Development, Arrivon. We're talking about sodium ion. It is, the reason why we're focusing on lithium ion right now is because of the track record. It's a track record of safety, performance, reliability. As this project site develops, there is certainly an opportunity to augment with sodium ion batteries, but sodium ion right now does not have the track record. And the reason why we are really focusing.
Oh, you have not tasted probably the sodium.
There is not a commercially
asking.
available source for them for us to be able to utilize. Tesla has not adopted them as of yet into any of their products. So we are, and what we're focusing on when we look at these projects is we're really looking to partner with the state-of-the-art developers from the battery perspective so we can have best-in-class performance and best-in-class safety. Those are really, you know, where we look at these projects is what would happen if we put them in our own backyards. And that's really, I mean, once sodium ion does reach commercial viability, I believe there's nothing would prevent Tesla from installing additional what they call augmentation units as sodium ion units on this project. But it's not really for us to say right now. Right now, the technology we have available is the lithium iron phosphate technology that has, probably over a 7-year track record, and we have a great operational experience with those projects.
I'm saying this because based on my readings, based on my observation internationally, even Tesla is losing now because China is doing a lot of this sodium battery.
Yes.
Besides, there is a question here about the danger of explosion, which is real when it comes to lithium. Whereas I'm not saying you cannot use this lithium because lithium it's been there. But because of the new technology coming out, I'm just expressing this. This is America where you can always express your things. But lithium is also excellent, no problem about it. But it's a cost that I'm saying. Imagine $235 only for 1 metric ton of salt or sodium, whereas if it is lithium, because it's it's nickel based, it's about almost 35,000 per metric ton. You can see the discrepancy of the amount. I'm just saying this, Mr. CFO, because probably your technology can go also in there. But this is America, you can always, for as long as that is what you think. And I'm full of. In fact, this is even cheaper than the current electricity that people in Daly City is paying, to be honest with you. And this is even, I would say, I'm not going to say it's even safer. And at the same time, God forbid, if there is a calamity or any earthquake here, that is the best help is the so-called energy, the lithium batteries, because I've used that before, and there was no light for almost a week in Daly City, in some park here in Daly City, but we have it because of the so-called storage of battery. I'm just saying this because this is a hearing actually. Yeah. We have to accept this fact that that's why I'm asking you if you can probably in the future you can. Also make a test, or if you're moving forward to this technology wherein sodium-ion battery will be used. So more or less, everybody wins. But if there is nothing else, then probably still, but this is cheaper and safer, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I mean, we're privately owned company, obviously, and we're investing our own money in this, several $100 million. So as John said, we look at the best technology, commercial scale, okay, because it's a large scale facility, the safest and the best available technology on a commercial scale basis. We are looking at sodium ion batteries.
Good.
We're looking at all kinds of things on long duration storage batteries that can last 10 hours. A lot of those technologies are getting ready, but not quite there. And really, the demand right now in California, I mean, there's quite a bit of demand to add energy storage onto the grid to make sure that we can, as Sam kind of identified, there's a lot of solar energy that comes on during the day. Pretty much too much. I mean, you can read the articles. There's too much solar during the day, and they have to send it kind of to neighboring states. This allows that energy actually to stay, so we can charge those batteries when there's too much solar during the day, and then at 5, 6, 7 p.m. at night when the peaks in California starts to go out. So really, it's I mean, I appreciate that you've done your homework, and it's impressive. We've got to make a commercial investment decision based on, commercial viability, financeability, safety issues.
I'm saying this, sir, because look at Tesla, Elon Musk. He's losing a lot because he cannot compete with China as far as the sodium-ion battery is concerned. He's losing a lot. And, even the cars, he's losing a lot.
Right.
I'm saying, I'm just reading the so-called review of
yeah.
the Harvard Business Review.
Yeah.
And that's and besides, but you still have the best so far technology when it comes to this solar battery. Still the
Exactly.
best to me.
Yeah.
And what else can we?
Exactly.
That's exactly.
Yeah.
And besides, when I remember when I was still sitting in the state board of professional engineers and land surveyors and geologists, is that we approved a integrity to develop the Pleasant Town going to Tracy, going to Livermore. But it was, I think, 500 megawatts, but it is oil-powered. Now you are coming here with a new technology. I think this is better. Because this is very important in developing a certain area or place. That is why when you talk of San Francisco, I think they're using about 300 or to 500 megawatts, San Francisco. So probably you can even increase your megawatts because it's not only here in Daly City that you should concentrate. You have Brisbane, you have Park of San Bruno, Park of everywhere here, because power is the main source of development, really.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's number one.
Yeah, these facilities are, 20-year facilities. I mean, our view, my personal view, is that once you establish that, that asset, that valuable asset that's providing electricity, it's likely going to stay that for a long time, for generations. So right now, the best technology for us is the lithium ion phosphate. When it comes time to replace batteries, there'll be other technologies that certainly won't be the technology that we would install today.
And this is cheaper.
Yeah.
It's cheaper. Besides, if people here in Daly City, the cost electric consumer will top your resources, and then they can save at least, I would say, 50%. I'm saying it's because I have it. We save about 50% of the energy costs, electricity. We're paying 300, we just pay about, I think it could be more. I'm just saying this because based on my experience.
That. Yeah, exactly.
So I'm glad that we accommodated this statement, and because that area has been dormant. It's not being used for the last, since I became commissioner, 2000. 25 years vacant.
Right.
So I urge probably the council, let's have this really done.
Fabulous.
But
Thank you.
we have some question.
Yes, of course. That's why we're here.
I will ask, that is a technical aspect, but I would like to ask also on the fiscal aspect. Are you, as far as the fiscal impact concerned, how do you think the city will be benefited?
Yeah, we talked about and I'll just comment, and then Sam, you could add in. And we had the slide on the local benefits, an initial $500,000 donation, real estate.
Not that, but the ongoing yearly, the fiscal
on an annual basis.
Revenue impact.
Yeah, I mean, we budget in all of our, community relations is a particularly big issue for me, importance. Not just because it's good to give to the community, but it also is good for our staff as well, because it helps motivate our team as well. So our projects, we budget additional donations through the life of the project. We haven't identified that number, but we do budget in our projects for the life of the project to continue to contribute to the community. Obviously, there's the tax revenue that's ongoing for the life of the project. And this particular project, it's been estimated, that $27 million over that 20-year life of the project. And then in addition, we become a member of the community and we participate in STEM programs and, scholarships at the high school and those kinds of activities as well on an ongoing basis.
No, probably my question, Your Honor, is the estimated annual fiscal tax revenue that you can, probably, the city can have it. Like how much per year probably the city will get?
Yeah, there's a slide up on the.
It's on page 5 of
Yep,
the
there,
staff
that was it right
report.
there.
And
That's in our presentation. The other presentation had a breakdown, an annual breakdown. Sam's.
oh, there you go.
Yeah, that's from ours, which is 27 over the 20 years. It's over $1 million, over $1 million a year in tax benefits. There's the initial one there. Yeah, there's the breakdown that your Sam put up on the board. Yeah, exactly.
Thank you. It's also on page 5 of the staff report.
All right.
Fiscal.
We have to be clear about this because that's why we have an interpellation time. We have to ask questions. And of course, I'm glad that your people are very much community-oriented, and I admire those young guns that went to the PBRC during the storm, volunteering themselves.
right.
So we'd like to express our gratitude also to people.
course. Yeah, thank
it's not
you.
because of that, but because you show your concern to the city. So we really appreciate that, those gestures. Little things, but means a lot to me also.
That's good to hear.
Thank you, Mr.
Yeah.
Chairman.
Yeah.
Chief
Yeah.
Executive. Yeah. And I have another question.
Yes,
Where is Sam?
Sam?
Sam. Oh, Sam. I have a lot of questions because I read all of this. Sam, how would you consider the changing from the general plan, from private to commercial to?
Yes, it's, right now it's light commercial and it would go to heavy commercial zoning.
How would it affect the community?
Well, that zoning allows the material and equipment storage use, which isn't currently allowed in the light commercial zoning. So that's why they're proposing that general plan amendment. The land use is also going from that commercial use to industrial, and then the zoning to heavy commercial C2 allows the equipment and material storage at the site. So that's why that entitlement is needed.
Because myself, I would always think about the public safety of the community in case there is some, you never know, explosion or any calamity that will happen. They should be protected also because one is from private to commercial to industrial, which is, I would say, higher than the regular one, especially the Bayshore.
Yeah, so all of the city departments reviewed the project, including the fire department.
The fire department?
Yes. So the fire department, from the very beginning, when the application is submitted, was involved in reviewing the plans. And
Are the fire department
There's a fire
competent-
department right up there.
competent
Very
to
convenient to
analyze
them.
explosion of a lithium battery?
yes,
I haven't heard about it, but that's okay.
We also have in the conditions of approval of the project, if you look under, on page 12 of the staff report, the fire department has specific conditions of approval that will be required for the project.
Because there was an example that when a battery explodes, you cannot just put it off immediately. There is a special thing that I think they know it better, the
Yes.
technical aspect.
Yeah, there was a fire study that was required as
This
part
is
of
not
the
a regular
project.
fire. Remember
So-
that.
Right.
And they examined that issue of the battery storage, the containment structures and how, given certain scenarios, how they'd be able to monitor the site.
Probably he can answer it.
So it's we have the
technical
sure.
engineer.
Yeah, I can let the developer answer that question. It's a technical question, but sure.
Just to be sure, so, because a lot of people are watching also,
Yes.
not only me.
Absolutely. That is one of the, the consistent questions we get is about fire. Let's see, going the wrong way here, sorry. I think these are in the back. So one of the biggest things about why we're considering the Tesla Megapack is that when we look at these units, it's not one gigantic battery. It is each one of those little drawers you see there underneath the orange layers there, you can think of it as separate elements of a battery. And what happens is that, so now if you have one of these elements, meaning one of the drawers of the battery that happens to overheat, Tesla and the safety systems will shut off that section of the battery, and there won't be anything that'll happen. No, the fire department will never respond. Nobody will ever respond. What'll happen is that unit, that battery, that segment will get pulled out in the event of in the next maintenance period. That's the advantage really for us of using this battery technology, because it's segregated enough that it allows for specific containment of issues. And I guess going back to the overall safety part of it and fire, there has been UL 9540A full-scale burn testing on this unit. Per the UL 9540A testing requirements, the unit was tested per those requirements. The only thing that happened was the door for where the unit was located was scorched. So there was no external flame, there was no external smoke. The internal sensors notified it and the unit was shut off. Then the Tesla organization went further than that. They said, okay, well, the UL test didn't cause the unit to start on fire catastrophically. So they did exactly what you were saying, is forced it into a complete and utter meltdown of the unit in terms of all of essentially an entire section of batteries being overheated and causing problems. And also having every single safety system shut off. Turning off the water cooling, turning off the safety systems, turning off all elements in the system. That's what it took for them to propagate a fire event in these units. So, and as you noted, with lithium battery fires, they don't go out on their own because they create their own oxygen, they create their own, what they call decomposition as they burn. So what happens is the safest battery is a battery that's been allowed to burn out. These units takes about 11 hours from beginning of incident to end of incident to burn out. So basically the fire department fights what they call a containment fire, or a containment action. So in other words, they spray water around the unit. They do not spray water on it or in it. Because what they want to do is they want to allow the unit to burn itself out, and then they can go into that unit safely and effectively without risk to the firefighters. Because one of the biggest single risks that was realized when battery systems were being developed in the Wild West days of 6, 8, 10 years ago was that people wanted to put water on fires and put water on batteries, and it doesn't mix. And that is, one of the biggest problems with some of the things that happen down south is air-cooled batteries with, putting water on air-cooled batteries. So what happens is that the fire may go out, but the decomposition of the battery doesn't stop. So you get the hydrogen and the oxygen that are forming, and all it's doing is looking for a spark. So that's why Tesla in their design has specifically tailored these units they're designed to burn. They're designed to be back to back against each other, and they're designed for one of them to be able to burn and not affect the other ones. That's the tremendous benefit and frankly, best in class technology of why we've been deploying these fairly consistently across all of our portfolio. Because we recognize it's safety of the firefighters, it's safety of the residents, it's safety of people surrounding us. And additionally, there's explosion modeling and blast modeling that's being done for these projects. And it's shown to be a very insignificant impact in reality because of the safety systems that are designed into the mega packs themselves.
Okay, okay, Doc. I move to open now the public hearing.
I have just one more question.
Oh.
So on the term for the contract, it's a 30-year contract. I was just reading it. The draft for the contract is 30 years. How long has your how old is your oldest facility?
I think our oldest battery facility is 2021. That's right, Josh. It's 2021. So, and as John kind of pointed out, that technology, those technologies continue to improve, and they improve safety systems, those kinds of things. But our oldest facilities are 2021. And frankly, the U.S. hasn't been building battery facilities for that long. It's a relatively, new concept, rather than building a coal plant or a nuclear plant to, build your renewable energy and then try and take that renewable energy and move that energy around, which is what a battery storage essentially does, is it takes solar energy and allows you to generate electricity at night with solar energy. But the battery is the facilitator.
Okay, thank you. All right, so if do you have any other comments, questions?
Oh, no, just no.
Okay, so now we open to public hearing. So my first speaker card is Phyllis Rizzi.
Good evening, Honorable
Use the
Commissioners.
microphone.
I'm speaking on behalf of my community, the Bay Shore. Through some of the presentations that Rivan has made, several among residents as well as to you, the City Council. And I wanted to bring forth the thoughts that some of our residents have about this project, mainly as a representative from the Bayshore Senior Club and as a resident myself, to look at this as a positive project for our neighborhood. It does several things that benefit the neighborhood. All of the our managers that have visited us from Arevon have reiterated what their contribution to the community is. We feel too that having a green energy plant in our neighborhood is beneficial for our neighborhood and the peninsula itself, the entire close-in grid, to give us a better quality of electrical power and resource. The other thing is the use of the space at the old drive-in theater. We are very, very residential intensive at this time without any amenities. And a lot of traffic is being produced by the growth of the residential areas of the Bayshore. So this would be a break for the Bayshore and for the community and for the city and for other uses, other resources. So that was why I wanted to speak tonight. It's just that we, as some of the residents, agree that this is a beneficial project for our neighborhood.
Thank you. Thank you for your comment. The next speaker is Al Perez. Hello.
Hello, good evening, commissioners. My name is Al Perez. I'm a community organizer and currently serving as president of a nonprofit called the Filipino American Arts Exposition, or FAAE. I'm here to express my strong support for Cormorant Energy, who is a valuable community partner and advocate for sustainability. Their recent sponsorship for FAAE's hallmark events underscore their commitment to meaningful engagement with communities they serve, particularly the Filipino American community in the Bay Area. These events included the Pistahan Parade and Festival, the largest celebration of Filipino community culture and cuisine in the country, and Chow Fun, a culinary and community event in the San Francisco Excelsior neighborhood and along the Geneva Business Corridor in Daly City. Cormorant Energy's involvement with FAAE exemplifies the highest standards of corporate social responsibility and cultural competence. As the premier sponsor of Pistan's Innovation Pavilion, Cormorant made significant strides in educating our community on sustainable technology and renewable energy. Their contributions provided FAAE with the resources to amplify our message of innovation while empowering Filipino-American voices to take lead in shaping the Innovation Pavilion's mission and content. They further showed us their commitment to clean energy and sustainability by providing a couple of solar-powered phone chargers at the Pistahan for festival attendees to use free of charge. Cormorant's willingness to immerse themselves in the community's culture extended beyond their role as sponsor. They took the time to listen to our community members, understand our priorities, and integrate their insights into our engagement strategies. By doing so, Cormorant demonstrated their alignment with the values of Daly City and its commitment to inclusivity and sustainability in ways that are both tangible and impactful. This approach fostered trust and underscored their dedication to being a true partner rather than a mere sponsor. Cormorant's exemplary partnership with FAAE and our efforts to support the Filipino-American community in the Bay Area reflect their standing as a responsible corporate citizen and community steward. Their sponsorship of our events not only advanced sustainable technology education, but also honored, and amplified the voices of Filipino Americans in Daly City, San Francisco, and beyond. Their meaningful actions and respectful engagement with our community speak to a company deeply committed to sustainability, inclusivity, and cultural sensitivity, qualities that are essential in building stronger and more cohesive communities. I urge you to support Cormorant Energy's permit application. Thank you very much for your consideration.
Thank you. Our next one is Chris Bufka. Please come up.
Hello, council members. My name is Chris Bufka. I'm here on behalf of not only myself, a Daly City resident of over 50 years, but the IBEW. With the IBEW, I'd like to they advocate for a strong commitment to hiring from the local area, ensuring that the workforce reflects the demographics of Daly City and the San Mateo County. This creates an ethical and equitable approach to a workforce engagement that prioritizes local job creation and community development. Also, by hiring local apprentices, you are offering economic mobility to individuals who may otherwise face barriers to employment. These apprentices are often from communities with fewer economic opportunities, and IBEW Local 617 provides them with necessary training and opportunities to build stable, long-term careers in the electrical trade. The skilled workforce for the ongoing project with the Local 617 ensures a skilled, reliable workforce, not just for the duration of this project, but for the future of the project as well during the operation and maintenance of the facility. The union's commitment to high standards and safety ensures that the energy storage systems will be built and maintained to last, benefiting the grid for years to come. By hiring our local 617 members and apprentices, this project is helping to train the next generation of electricians and technicians who will power the green energy transition in California. This ensures a sustainable workforce that can meet the challenge of future energy projects. Labor standards. Reinforced with the IBEW Local 617 operates under the highest labor standards, ensuring that the workforce is done efficiently, safely, and with a focus on quality craftsmanship. The union's commitment to ensuring compliance with safety protocols and latest industry standards, ensuring the proper procedures are followed throughout the construction and installation. With my closing remarks, local labor for local growth. In conclusion, that local labor is not only a matter of economic growth, but also a matter of safety, quality, and community development. The IBEW Local 617 workforce represents a well-trained, dedicated, and local team that is ready to tackle complexities of this project while fostering long-term growth in this community. And this is why I support this project, as long as they consider union workers. Thank you.
Thank you. Next is Ethan Lester. Please come up.
Hello, City Council. My name is Ethan Lester. I'm a San Mateo resident. I'm Local 3 operating engineers, 28 years. This is going to bring great union jobs to our area, as well as our apprenticeship. It's kind of a slam dunk. These guys are building in a perfect spot right there in Daly City that's not really used. You guys tore the theater down years ago. It's perfect. The way these people are going to set this up is going to be perfect. So we as Local 3, we recommend this project. Thank you.
Thank you. Then we have Sean Burke. Please come up.
Good evening, Commissioners. My name is Sean Burke. I'm a business representative for the International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers, IBW Local 617 in San Mateo County. A lot of great aspects for this project. I'm going to speak specifically to their commitment to using union labor with a skilled and trained workforce and a registered apprenticeship. Local 617 is the local workforce for power professionals with the skills and training needed to safely install these battery storage systems. Work performed must be performed by experienced professionals who understand the complexities of this system. The IBW members are trained to handle hazardous situations and have the necessary certifications to ensure safety and compliance with industry standards. The IBW has a long history of successfully completing complex and high-risk electrical projects, ensuring quality and safety every step of the way. As far as economic impact, the IBW and the rest of the building trades members live and work in San Mateo County, Daly City, like Chris said, and by utilizing local union labor, the project supports the local economy. Local workers will be able to spend and reinvest their earnings within the community, fostering a stronger and more resilient economy. As far as the apprenticeship goes, our apprenticeship is so important to our way of life in the unions, building up the next generation, diversity and inclusion. Our apprenticeships are committed to training apprentices from diverse and underserved communities, including women, veterans, people of color, and formerly incarcerated individuals. This is a key initiative to ensure that the workforce remains inclusive and reflective of the community. On-the-job training. We must provide safe on-the-job training for apprentices currently enrolled in the IBW. This training is critical. I hear the timer, I'm going to wrap it up. This training is critical for the apprentices enrolled in the apprenticeship. As part of IBW's commitment to diversity, we actively engage in outreach and recruitment from marginalized communities. This ensures that the workforce pipeline remains diverse, inclusive, and sustainable, benefiting not only our industry, but the community as well. To wrap it up, the IBEW's workforce is a workforce of power professionals. We desire to partner with the developer to ensure that the Cormorant Energy Storage Project is completed safely, efficiently, in a way that benefits both the developer and Daly City, particularly in providing good jobs and sustainable career opportunities for local workers and apprentices. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other public comments? Hearing none. Can I get a motion to close public hearing?
I motion.
Second.
Second?
Can we get a roll call vote? Or no?
No, that was closed.
Okay. So public hearing is now closed. Recommended action. Is there any comments?
No,
That's it?
I'm okay.
Okay.
No comment.
Okay.
Okay, recommended action is to forward to the city council the following recommendation: to adopt the findings as outlined herein. Recommend that the city council adopt the mitigated negative declaration and mitigation monitoring and reporting program prepared for the project, and to find that the developer agreement is consistent with the general plan, and recommend that the city council approve the general plan amendment, GPA-11-22-015959, zone change ZC-11-22-015960, use permit UPR-11-22-015962. And design review DR-11-22-015961, subject to the conditions of approval identified herein. Can I get a motion?
They so move.
Second?
Okay, now we do a roll call vote.
Panizza,
Yes.
Fa'apua,
Definitely a yes.
Satori,
Yes.
Katwar.
Yes.
Before we finally, I just one small. I'd like to thank the young guns from the Aribon for giving us during the stormy weather when you came to help during the Thanksgiving. Thank you very much. We appreciate that. Thank you.
Thank you. The motion has passed.
Yeah. When is it going to play to?
We are requesting the council set up the public hearing for January 27.
Okay. Okay.
And it's a great project.
At least we have covered everything.
We need lots of notice for the ordinances.
Okay. Okay. No problem.
So it's income, it's jobs, it's, clean energy. So, yeah, it's a great project. Thank you.
Congratulations.
All right, so any vacations? No? So now we move to. for
Can I
adjournment.
make just a little word? I would like to thank the city management for hosting last night a very successful Commissioners' Night Party at Joseph Westlake. We appreciate that.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.
And also happy birthday to Marie on December.
All right, so now we move to adjourn.
Yeah.
Can I get a motion to
So
adjourn?
move.
I motion. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Ray. I motion.
Okay. So second the motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Adjourn. Meeting adjourned.
Happy holidays, everyone.
Thank you.